Hi leaders, welcome to our first day of the 10-day program. Okay, so my name is Tinyiko Motileni. I am your leadership specialist for women who are leading in the male-dominated industries. I coach women to lead with ease and confidence without fear of failure. So in other words, I help women to establish their own leadership identity in the male-dominated industries. Okay, so guys, I came up with this 10-day program whereby I need to help you to settle in your first 10 days in office. And this program is derived from my book called How I Emerged as a Leader in the Male-Dominated Industries. Okay, so today we're going to discuss self-leadership tool number 1, which is how to set boundaries during your first 10 days in office. Okay, so guys, boundaries help me to survive 2 decades in the male-dominated industries. Okay, they also help me to not to accept disrespect from my male counterparts in any company. Okay, so another thing about boundaries, it is important that you avoid actions that can force you to compromise your boundaries, because that happens most of the time, especially when you are a female leader in the male-dominated industries, because there are so many things that you need to deal with. Okay, so it is important that you learn to be the best version of yourself all the time. Okay, so let's come to how can you set those boundaries, or where are you supposed to start, as a female leader in male-dominated industries. So have your first meeting right away from the beginning. When you get to a company, make sure that you have got your first meeting, so that you do not wait for everyone to insinuate who are you, what do you want in their so-called space, male caves, those kind of things. You mustn't allow them to dwell into their minds, so you need to make sure that you have your first team meeting right from the start. And in that meeting, you could introduce yourself as a leader who's there to bring upon change and continue the good deeds. Okay, the second thing that you can discuss is your qualifications. Talk about your qualifications, because remember, the reality is that we as women, we still have to work twice as much in order to be recognized as capable. Okay, so qualifications are still very important when you introduce yourself, especially in the male-dominated industries. Okay, so the third thing, your experience is very important. Okay, so men need to know whether you are capable of sitting at the same table or not. They've got that thing, they just need to know if you are capable of leading them or not. So you need to talk about your experience in the meeting, so that they understand that you know what you're talking about. If you don't have any experience in the industry yet, you need to talk about, find out, research about the company. Make sure that you've got enough information about the company and talk about the company. Okay, and then the fourth thing, you need to tell them how you are leading. You need to explain your leadership style, so that right from the beginning they know how you expect them to behave, how you are going to lead them. All right, so the second point that you need to do is that it's to talk about your respect policy. Guys, that is very, very important From the word go, do not allow any disrespect, especially as a female leader in the male-dominated industries, okay? So you need to promise respect and you need to demand respect. That's when you need to do it. Promise that you are going to respect them and demand respect back. That will allow you to lead for a long time in the male-dominated industries. That was my success key factor, you know, for 2 decades in the male-dominated industries, okay? So communicate clearly that what respect means to you. It's important. Communicate very clear what respect means to you, all right? So do not allow yourself to be called names, guys. Don't allow yourself to be called names at all. Names like sweetie, love, baby girl, you know what? You are going to be reduced to something else other than a leader if you allow those kind of names, all right? And do not allow compliments that are going to compromise your leadership. Don't allow them. It's a no-no. Do not allow to be touched. That is not negotiable. Don't allow to be touched, because that's where the abuse starts, guys. It's very, very important. I want to tell you that I once reported a guy who touched my face, you know, like he came to me and he was like, baby care, and I was so angry. I was so angry. And when I reported him to my male boss, my male boss was like, I thought he has touched you in an appropriate way. You know, that was very disappointing, you know, for a leader to tell me that it is okay for my subordinate to touch me on my face because according to him it is appropriate, you know. So I was very much disappointed, and that became a wound, you know, to me, because I really do not think it is okay to allow any, even if he can touch your hair, it is not allowed. Do not allow anyone to touch any part of your body, you know, because it is going to make him think that it is okay to touch you everywhere. All right. So the other thing is that do not allow fears, you know, through threats, you know. Most of the time when you start leading males, they will start you know, uttering threats on you, you know. Don't allow that. Do not, because if you can fall into that trap, they will think you are weak. They will definitely think you are weak. So do not allow that. And then close the gossip door. Guys, men gossip as well, eh? So close that gossip door. Totally close it. Do not allow any gossip until you understand all the characters, you know, of your team. Okay? And have one standard for everyone when you start, because they will it's going to be very easy for them to accuse you of nepotism, you know. So have one standard for everyone until, you know, you have got, you know, what can you say, your feet, you know, into place, in that you can be able to know all the characters and lead them differently according to their behaviors or according to their characters. Okay. And the last thing is that do not allow conflict depth to start building from your side. All right. That is very important, guys. Why? Because if you are submissive, if you are submissive and quiet as a female leader, you are deemed to be weak. Okay? And when you are loud, you are deemed to be aggressive. So there's most of the time, in my experience anyway, if I was not able to say whatever that I want to say, I was weak. And when I started saying what I'm supposed to say, I was loud and I was aggressive. So I had to find a way to be assertive. Okay, so it is very, very much important. So if you let your conflict depth, build or start building without saying anything, because they are saying you are either too loud or you are weak, you are going to have to deal with it at the later stage, and it is very much difficult to change the behavior if you have already allowed it. Okay, so right from the beginning, when something is not okay in your eyes, or something it's sore in your mouth, it has got a sore taste in your mouth, address it directly, right away, from the word go, as they say. Address it so that you cannot start building the conflict debt from your side. Because as soon as you build it, and when you want to deal with it, it's either you're going to explode or you're going to say things that are not appropriate. Okay, so direct anything, communicate, direct anything that it's not a good a thing according to you. It's not something that is appropriate according to you. All right, so thank you so much, guys, for making sure that you sign up for this 10-day program. I'm definitely sure that it is going to help you settle in your first 10 days in office. So I've got, I think it's two, it's one question, which I call it knowing yourself. So in this question, I say, write your own boundaries that you wouldn't want anyone to cross, even yourself. Okay, do not write a lot, because you need to maintain them. That's what I said. Choose the ones that are important and necessary at the time when you're starting, because you can always increase them at the later stage. So that could be 5 to 10 boundaries. Then add as you learn. Okay, and please love yourself enough to have boundaries. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next session. Bye-bye.